How are you doing?
I'm good.
So can you tell me your name?
My name is Divya Darshan Tiwari.
Yes, and where are you from? Where's your home? Your nationality?
Okay. I'm from Nepal and I have I was born and I am there since then. Uh, so yeah, I am Nepalese by nationality and my mother tongue is Nepalese.
So what do I call you during this interview? What can I call you?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that. You can call me Divya.
Okay, Dibya. So can you tell me more about your work and study?
I am a fresh graduate. I completed my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Kathmandu University and I've been working as an HVAC engineer in a company which goes by the name Himal Refrigeration and Electricals, which is located in Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal.
Okay, that's nice. So can you introduce me more about HVAC since you are in it and you mentioned it?
Okay, so HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And basically, my job in that company is to visit the under construction buildings, carry out the load estimations, and by load I mean the heating and cooling loads. Those are the technical terms which are used to define the energy to be applied to that building for heating and cooling purposes.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I
Thank you, Divya.
okay,
So now we'll be moving on to the part two of this examination.
okay.
Uh, so have you recently read any book or anything else like that in literature?
Yeah, I was actually reading two books. One of them was titled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and the other book was Thinking Like Think Like a Monk. I think I got the name wrong. Actually, yeah, I remember it quite well right now. The name was Think Like a Monk, and the author of the book was Jay Shetty, who happens to be a motivational speaker as well and likes to call himself as an urban monk.
Okay, that's nice. So how often do you read books? Are you an avid reader?
I used to be a voracious reader up until I finished my high school, but after that, I cut off myself completely, and the major reason for that was the hectic nature of my studies. Uh, I like to call engineering as a subject which takes you away from the literature, and this current pandemic has brought the interest back in me, and I am trying to utilize this time by reading as many books as possible. And by
Okay,
now,
that's nice. So uh so what kind of books do you enjoy? What kind of genres of books?
yes, so I was trying to explain the names and the nature of the books that I had been reading currently. And excuse me, के phone आया था जिसको group member को phone आया. So the books that I had been reading recently were related to human life and the pursuit of seeking. One of the books that I read was The Inner Engineering by Jaggi Basudeva. He is also given the name Sadhguru by his followers. And the other book that I mentioned previously were Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty and I do not quite recall the name of the author, but the book How to the Supple Art of Not Giving a Fuck is also a similar kind of book which helps you to deal with stress in the daily lives and carry on by being peaceful.
That's nice. So now we'll be moving on to the part three of this examination.
Okay,
So in this part, I'll be asking you a question, and then you will have minute for preparation and
okay, sure.
1 to 2 minutes for answering the question.
Yeah, sure.
Is that all right?
Okay,
Okay. So describe a family which you like and happy to know.
okay.
Shall I
So, what
repeat
should
the
I?
question?
You don't need to do that, but could you please tell me what should I include in this topic?
So you should include who are they, where do they live, and how do you know them, and explain why you like them.
Okay, so I shall start taking my notes.
Okay, shall we start?
Okay. So talking about the family apart from mine that I like and adore are the Shresters. They are my neighbors and they live 2 blocks away from my house. They happen to be my family friends because Shrestha uncle is a friend to my father, while aunt is my mother's friend. And it happened to it happened quite surprisingly that the number of children in their house is three, which is similar to us, and we get along quite well. And the family is quite cheerful and helpful at times. We try to share our food from time to time in the form of dinners. The other family that I remember were my father's friend, and they had the surname Thapa. They lived in the next village, and we visited them quite often. And I was good friends with the most junior Thapa, whose name was Sushant. And another good thing is that Thapa aunt cooked very delicious dinner, and I still have the taste of the board she cooked for us like 15 years back. But I still have watery mouth when I remember that feast. So yeah, those are the two families that I can think of right now.
Okay, thank you, Divya, for the answer. Now we'll be moving on to part three.
Okay.
Uh, so asking about the Shrestha family, who is the leader in the family, who looks after the family?
He is an electrician by profession, And I can remember him from my childhood that he used to do almost every work relating to mechanical and general electric tasks of my house or the houses of our locality, because he is quite amiable by nature. And my father and uncle used to work as colleagues in the sugar mill that we had close to our house.
Okay. So, do the Thapa family have any grandparents, and do they look after their grandchild?
Um, they might have the grandparents who, who might be still alive, but I do not quite know about them, and I do not think that I have heard them mention something or anything about their grandparents, because we do not actually talk for much now, and the family had moved abroad quite like 5 years back, so we do not generally have much conversation, and I do not have any such information regarding the question.
Okay. So, from this two family, what are the some qualities that everyone should look forward?
Okay, so the general qualities are the helpful nature, and I think that we must develop by we must develop the similar habit by ourselves rather than seeking it from others. And the other thing that I want many families around me to copy from them is to be cheerful at all the times. Many adults are imposing the habits upon the children, but they used to let us wander free so we could learn by ourselves and play as much as possible.
That's good. So, what's that one quality that separate these two families, Thapa and Shrestha?
I do not think that there was much difference in them, but I have seen the brawls and fighting, and most of it was because of his drinking habit. And none of the person in the Shrestha family had such bad qualities in them. So I guess that's the only difference between both of the families, if there is one.
Okay, that's good. So, I think that's it for your exam today. You're finished,
Okay,
and thank you for your time.
thank you.